Welcome to another episode of The Latest with Maya. Today, I am so excited to have a conversation with actor, director, and screenwriter Christopher Backus. Christopher has appeared in many different projects, including Will and Grace, Bosch, Big Little Lies, Mindhunter, and Blackbird. Christopher's most recent movie, Daft State, is out now on Amazon Prime. Thank you so much for being on my show. I'm so excited to be talking with you.
Thanks, Maya. I'm glad to be here. I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Yeah, me too. Um, yeah, so let's get started. So, who has had the biggest impact on you professionally?
Wow. I would say that it's kind of twofold. I would say that both my wife, Mira Sorvino, and her father, Paul Sorvino, have had the biggest impact in my career professionally. Mira with her love and support and her belief all the time. And we've collaborated on four projects together and we work on auditions together and figure things out. So that's always fun. And then when I met Mira and her dad, I don't know if it was just being nice, but he was like, "Hey, if you ever want to read or do anything, look at projects, I'd be happy to do that with you." And I don't think he expected that I called him all the time. And so a lot of my training as an actor, which I didn't go to school or anything, was through Paul. So he was generous and kind and loving enough to teach me all about this craft.
Wow, I love that. Yeah. So who has had the biggest impact on you personally?
Personally, I would say my children. I have four kids with Mira, and they've helped me grow and expand and look at the world in a different way, more less selfishly and more sort of how I can help the world and how I can help them. And they've been a great part of not only, my personal life, but supportive in my career. And yeah, I'd say the kids are a big part of my personal growth as a human being.
Oh, I love that. So what in your life brings you the most joy?
Uh, I would say, I would say that I have been fortunate enough. I have four kids, but two of my boys are baseball players. The oldest one's a freshman playing baseball at the University of Michigan, and the other one's a freshman in high school. And to be able to work out with them and throw batting practice to them has become my sort of hobby of when not working. I try to spend as much time helping them with their baseball careers and ambitions, and that's become my sort of personal um, hobby that keeps me entertained and in shape, and I get to be around the boys, which I really like.
Yeah. So what has been the biggest obstacle you've overcome?
In life or in my career?
Um, yeah, either one.
Um, I would say in life, my father passed away when I was 10 years old. He passed away from prostate cancer, and that that seminal moment of my life was obviously really hard, but I think some of the residual effects of losing a father at that age, I had a lot of anger and aggression when I was younger, and uh, you can't tell me what to do, and so overcoming those sort of not only the loss of my dad, but the emotional kind of stunted um, aftershocks of that singular moment was the largest thing I had to overcome and to learn patience and understanding and that I can't take everything on my own. I think one of the things that after my dad died was I always went like, I'm good, I'm fine, I got it. And that's taken, 30 years to figure out that I do need other people and I need help. And yeah, so I'd say in life, that's been the biggest thing I've had to overcome.
I'm really sorry to hear that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so what is the greatest lesson you have learned from a character you've played?
Oh, I tend to play a lot of bad guys. Uh, um, I think I've played a lot of bad guys. I also have played a lot of military special forces through Bosch and uh, this current movie that I have coming out on Friday, December 13th, called Dirty Angels, where I play a special forces officer. And I think that one of the things I learned is the persistence and being able to train with them is the daily showing up and being responsible for yourself and to be accountable is one of the biggest things. And as an actor, right, we go through periods where we work a lot and then there's like breaks and you have to be focused to continue to stay on that path as opposed to like, well, I'm off, I'm going to go to the beach and whatever happens. Like there's daily things that you hold yourself accountable to. And so playing some of the special forces characters have really helped me align that, all right, I need to stay accountable even the days that I'm not working or on the days I'm working, being on time, being accountable, being present, and showing up and knowing my lines.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Um, yeah, so what motivates you even on days you aren't really feeling it?
I think it's twofold. I think fear is one of them, right? Like whatever I do on camera, is there forever. So there's always an accountability of that. Yeah, it may not feel my best, or may not want to be there, or I'm tired, but it's documented forever, right? So everything you can find it, and especially in today's day and age, like things are clipped and so being the fear of being exposed is um, not showing up or not doing my job correctly. I think also the other thing that keeps me motivated is, I've got a wonderful wife and four kids, and to continue to provide for them and make sure that their dreams of going to the colleges they want to go to are all able and achievable.
Oh, I love that. Um, so what is your most memorable moment from a day on set?
All right. So my most memorable experience, I wouldn't, yeah, I guess it was technically a day. So I did Mindhunter, and with David Fincher and David, we shot it, I don't know, in maybe October, and then don't hear anything, and come May 15th, I get this call. I wake up and I've got two missed calls from David's producer. And it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and I answer the phone. I finally get up, I call him back, and I'm like, "Hey," and they're like, "So we're gonna reshoot this scene. What's your availability?" And I said, "Well, I mean, technically I'm available, but," and she's like, "So would you be available in a couple hours?" And I said, "Sure, I guess so." And she's like, "All right, so David's gonna call you, and then we'll go from there." And I said, "All right." So I drove my kids to school, and I'm on my way back from school, and David calls and says, "So can you drive to this prison outside of Riverside, California, and shoot this scene today?" And I was like, "Well, is the scene the same? I mean, it's been 6 months." He's like, "Well, we changed it a little bit, but um, it's pretty much the same. I'll send you the sides and we'll shoot it." So it's a 13-page scene. I drive to Riverside. The scene arrives about an hour before I get to Riverside, so I'm looking at it and I walk into set, and when I walk in, David Fincher and Jonathan Groff are sitting in this makeshift prison. And David says, "So do you know the lines?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "All right, so we'll start with Jonathan, go to hair and makeup, and then we'll start." And so I go to hair and makeup, and I know the lines, but not 100%, right? I've had an hour. So I now go to hair and makeup. I think I know it. I'm feeling pretty good. We sit down and we get started. And so we shot that scene for 16 hours, both sides, 135 takes. David is an amazing director and knows exactly what he wants, but you do it a lot. And he gives you the notes and he says, all right, well, on this part, I want you to cross your feet. And I loved how you did this with the Coke can. And I love how you did this. And he gives you all the notes. And then he says, he walks away and he says, action. And you go again and you keep going. And it's exhausting. And at one point, uh, he said action on take 55 and I didn't know what my lines were. Like it was like I had an out of body experience and I'm sweating and I'm nervous and he calls cut. He goes, "All right, now we're starting." And so we did another, 80 takes. And at the end of the day, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. We had just finished. And David, who is, again, one of the great cinematic directors and one of my personal favorites, and he said, you should be really proud of yourself. If you can do that, you can do anything. And he walked out, and I was left sitting in this prison room, and I was going, well, that was one of the most, wouldn't say fun, but one of the most rewarding experiences of my career of working with David. And it was, yeah, so that's my most memorable day on set.
Oh, wow. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, I always wanted to watch Mindhunter because Jonathan Groff is one of my favorite actors.
Absolutely.
And my mom had watched it and she like I have a lot of anxiety, so she was like, I think it would probably freak you out too much. So, and then I watched the trailer of it, and I was like, as much as I want to watch this, I don't think I can.
Yeah, I think that that's wise. It's definitely it's very heavy, very anxiety driven. Jonathan and Holt are amazing in it, and Jonathan is one of the most kind, generous, wonderful actors that I've ever worked with, and he is so good. And yeah, I'm fortunate that I've been able to work with him.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, so I am pop culture obsessed and I go in stages of shows that I cannot stop watching. Is there a show that you are currently obsessed with?
TV show?
Yeah.
So I've got a couple shows. One, I've always been obsessed with What We Do in the Shadows, which is just amazingly funny and just brilliant from the creators there, and the cast is amazing. And that's like my go-to comedy. Like I love that. And then this is an older show, but I just discovered it was The Night Manager with Hugh Laurie. And it is so good and so suspenseful. And he plays the best bad guy. And Tom Hiddleston is in it. He's fantastic. And apparently they've just greenlit a second season. So I feel like I timed it because it came out in like 2015. And now they're doing the second season now. And I just found that. And that show is so good.
Oh, cool.
And then my third show, which my wife and I just watched, which we were obsessed with, was The Diplomat with Kerry Russell and Rufus Sewell on Netflix, which is amazing. Like I don't know how realistic that is to everything that's political in the world, but I'm here for it. It was exciting and fun, and those are the three shows I've been watching. And then our guilty show that we watch with our daughter, we watch Modern Family all the time. Like Modern Family. Every day I see at least one episode of Modern Family.
Oh, I love that.
What's
Yeah.
your favorite show right now?
Oh, there's been, I'm trying to think what I just watched. Now I'm blanking on everything. But
That's
I
okay.
just there was one show I just watched and now I can't think of it. I wrote it down, so I'm
Okay.
gonna look it up really fast. But I constantly go back to just shows I've already seen. And so I watch like um Will and Grace and White Collar all the time. Those are like my constant rewatches.
Those
Oh,
are good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love those shows, and I just started watching a new Amazon Prime show called The Sticky.
I haven't seen that one.
Um yeah, it's I've only seen the first episode so far, but it's really good.
Good. All right, I'll
Yeah.
put it on my list.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm putting the night manager and the diplomat on my list. So
Perfect.
thank you.
Although I'll give you warning, they are anxiety inducing. It is very
Okay.
so watch the trailer first. Watch the trailer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I watch and the things I can't watch are like horror and things about serial killers. So
Yeah.
Mindhunter is
Mindhunter's
uh
out.
yeah.
Mindhunter's definitely out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a horror guy. The serial killer thing I can do, but the horror stuff I'm not I can't watch it.
Yeah. I just watched the show Cross
Hmm.
on
With
Amazon
Aldous.
Prime.
Aldous Hodge.
Yes. Yeah.
He's
And
amazing. I did the show Underground with him,
yeah.
and
Oh wow.
he's so talented and so cool and kind and yeah, I'm excited. I haven't seen it
Yeah.
yet, but I'm a big Aldous Hodge
Yeah.
supporter. He's the
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. It's so good. It is anxiety producing with the topic. So I didn't fully know what it was about when I started it.
Yeah,
But then I was like, well, now even though it makes me anxious, I'm hooked and I have to keep watching. So
perfect.
yeah. Yeah, and I didn't realize I love Aldous Hodge and everybody in it, and I didn't realize that Ryan Eggold is
Oh
in the
yeah.
show, and I love him. So yeah,
Fantastic. Yeah, I used to watch The Blacklist, which he was on.
yeah,
And that was yeah, he's very talented.
yeah. I've never watched The Blacklist, but I was obsessed with his show New Amsterdam.
Okay.
Uh, that was one of my favorite shows. I watched it every week, so yeah. 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 So if you had a warning label, what would yours say?
Be careful, I bite.
I like that. Yeah.
I don't know why. I just feel like I've got a little bit of I think most of the time I'm pretty friendly, but I have a little bit of an edge. I'm like the lion in the cage that looks cute and then one day the lion bites you. So, that'd be my
Yeah.
warning.
Hmm. I like that one. I think that's a good warning.
All right, good.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is something people are always surprised to learn about you?
I think the thing that's most common is how tall I am. So I'm 6'4", and so I mean obviously I'm tall on screen, but I think that because the majority of actors, or there's very few of us that are 6'4", that anytime I meet someone, they're always like, "Wow, you're even taller than I thought." So I think that's the most common surprise that I get.
Oh wow. Yeah. So what three words best describe you?
Oh, hmm. Uh, accountable. Fun and tough.
I like those.
All right.
Yeah. Um, so what genre of movie would your life story be told as?
Uh, ooh, a drama. I wish it was a thriller, but a drama. A thriller would be fun, but unfortunately, I don't have that
Yeah.
in my life. But yeah, a drama. I mean, a dramedy. I think there'd be a lot of humor in it.
Yeah.
I mean, our family's a lot of fun, and four kids, so it's big. So there'd be some comedy in it. It'd be like uh, maybe like the tone of the bear on
Um,
FX. Yeah, like it's like being in the kitchen is our household.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yes, chef.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I've always wanted my life to be told as both a rom-com and a musical.
I like
So
that. I like that. Yeah, there's definitely not a
thank you.
musical in my story, but I yeah, I can see a rom-com and a musical for you. I think that's a good call.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Who's
I
scoring it? So who's the artist that's doing the music for you?
oh um there's so many that I love. I think Ben Platt and Macy Peters.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. I never actually thought about that. So,
All right.
yeah.
Well,
So,
now we got it started. So that's your initial thought, and we'll see how it progresses and see where
yeah.
it ends up.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Um, so do you have a go-to comfort show or movie that you turn on just when you need a break from everything?
Modern Family. Modern Family for sure. I mean that it's I never watched Modern Family while it was on the air, but since it's been streaming, I watch it all the time with the kids, like in hotel rooms. Like Modern Family is usually on a TV somewhere, so I can find it. It's my go-to. I don't tend to watch much stuff while I'm working. I kind of turn the TV off, but the one exception would be Modern Family. I'll watch a little Modern Family.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love that show.
So good. So good. And the evolution of the characters, and for as long as they did it, they just got funnier and funnier. And every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, that's my new favorite character. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Yeah, there's so many shows that yeah, it's hard to pick a favorite character because you just love all of them so
yes.
much.
Yes.
Yeah, I was actually just rewatching your episode of Will and Grace the other day.
I may be
And
tall, but I have feelings.
yeah. Yeah, I that's just one of my favorite episodes. It's so funny.
It's a good one. And then our small fact. So Eric McCormick, because Mira was on the show and I was on the show,
Yeah.
and so we both dated Will.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah, I actually interviewed Eric McCormack a few years ago, which I like when we started the interview, I was like I could not find any words because I was like
He has that effect. He's
yeah,
funny, he's handsome, and he's nice, and he's a big
yeah,
star. So yeah, I can
yeah.
understand that. Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, you're Will. I can't believe I'm talking to you right now.
yeah, that's amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, I that show I also quote all the time in any situation. And my best friend, I quote the show to him all the time and he's never seen it. And I keep telling him he has to watch it so he understands my references.
Yes, he definitely has to watch it. I feel like the
Yeah.
DVD set it needs to be delivered to his home.
Yes. Oh, you're giving me an idea for a gift for him. So thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, the holidays are coming, so there we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna need to buy that for him because then he won't have any excuse not to watch it.
Although, does he have a DVD player? Do they still exist at this point? So maybe you got to buy him
Oh,
like
yeah.
the Apple like season pass or something like that. Like they've got to
Oh,
have that. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I know it's also on Hulu, so I could tell him, make sure he has Hulu.
Yeah,
So,
but I don't think that that's going to get him to watch it because if he hasn't watched it yet, you have to make it
yeah.
so it's delivered to him, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He won't
Okay,
be sorry. Once he watches it, he won't be sorry. I,
yeah.
you can tell him
Yeah.
I said so.
Okay, I will. I'm actually talking to him later, so I'm gonna tell
Okay.
him that.
Yeah,
So
tell him
thank you.
he needs to watch Will and Grace by 2025.
Okay, yes, I'm going to tell him that. Yeah, so I love inspiring and motivational quotes, and this week my favorite quotation is actually from the show New Amsterdam, and it says, "Is the world dark? Sure, but there's light. There's so much light. You just have to open your eyes and look." Is there a quotation that has inspired you lately?
Um, yes, I don't remember it. uh, so my both of my boys are baseball players, and obviously one of my son is at Michigan, and so there are a lot of uh, Kobe Bryant uh, quotes that are out there recently, and being a freshman starting college baseball, it's always ups and downs, and you kind of have to learn how to navigate that part and navigate failure. And Kobe kind of talked about how there was no failure for him because if he did all the work and he did everything every day, he was going to get better. And so failure didn't exist for him because it was just the work that was the mountain. It wasn't the achievements, it wasn't the finals, it wasn't the MVP. It was the work that he put in that was the journey, right? That was the mountaintop, right? Everything else, once you reach the top of the mountain, is gravy. But if you do that, you'll outlast everybody and you can do that. And so I sum that up really poorly, but that is the sort of messages that I send my boys is, they elevate in sports. And so, and it is for everybody's life, right? Like if you show up and you do the work, you may not succeed, you may succeed, but the work is the part that is fantastic, right? Like if I do a movie and I do my job, it may be a hit, it may not be it, but at least I can walk around going, I did everything I could on my end.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love that quote. I hadn't heard that one before.
Yeah, once you type in like Kobe Bryant motivational quotes into like social media, it becomes your algorithm because apparently he has a lot of them. So my algorithm is just Kobe Bryant talking about how to achieve things.
Oh,
So bad.
yeah, I love that. Yeah, my algorithm is usually it like changes between just quotes and then um like scenic like pictures, and so it just constantly changes.
Yes. Yeah, it's whatever you're looking at. The
Yeah,
Instagram, they're too smart to they know what you want right away.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, that was my final question for you. I have loved talking with you. You made my day, so thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you very much. That was fun. I enjoyed all your questions. I've a lot of ones I haven't been asked before, so I was excited.
Oh, yay. That's always my goal, so I'm very happy to hear that. So, yeah, so again, thank you so much for taking the time, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too, Maya. I really appreciate it. It was nice talking
Thank
with you.
you. You too. And that's a wrap on today's edition of the latest with Maya.